Hey, what's up guys? It's Brian here, Brian's All Maintenance. All right, today we're gonna be answering another frequently asked questions for you guys. And this one was, what is the best size mowing deck? There's 48, 52, 60, 72. Let me try to answer this question here in 5 minutes or less. Keep it short and sweet and try to give you guys some ideas and some thought process here if you're trying to upgrade or purchase a new mower and deciding on what mower deck to go with.
Make the ground shake.
Now here's the deal guys, I've been doing this frequently asked question video series for you guys, so if you guys are new, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to check out the rest of the playlist because we're answering a bunch of your guys' frequently asked questions, which is really good if you're just getting in business or if you've been in business for just a few years or less. These kind of videos are really helpful. I know I appreciate videos like this that other folks do, so hopefully you guys do as well. If you do, shoot it a big thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Now let's talk about the different size mower decks. Just to give the lay of the land, right? There are 32, 33, 34, 36. Those are generally speaking your walk behinds or your smaller stand-ons. There's 48, 52, and 60 for your ride-ons, your zero turns, your stand-ons. And then especially if you get into the zero turn category, you're gonna see a lot of 52, 60s, and 72s, right? Of course, there's 96 and the diesels and the whams and all this other mess. But generally speaking, your main mower deck sizes out there are gonna be your 32s, your 48s and 52s, and then your 60s, right? How do you decide which mower deck is the best one to go with? Well, it's a really simple question that I have back for you is, what kind of lawns are you mowing? If you are mowing a, let's just do this whole spectrum, right? Wide open lawns, wide open subdivisions or acreage, no fences, my attitude would be, get a 52 or a 60 inch, whether it's a stand-on or a zero turn. You're gonna want big passes, a lot of productivity, wide open, full throttle. Let's mow grass and haul grass and let's make money, right? Let's go into the middle part of the spectrum and talk about the fact that maybe you're doing a bunch of residential work. 80% of them are wide open, but 20% of them are fenced in. Here's where it starts to get tricky and dicey. Here's what I learned from Ed Wright and Stanley, and I thought this was really good mindset was, you can always cut a 32, a 34, 36 inch stander or zero turn type mowers in the backyard, right? Fit it into that gated area. And then you can also take that mower to the front yard to cut, which might be 2/3 of the property, but you can cut up and down 36 inch lanes with that smaller stand-on mower. Here's what you can't do though. You can't buy a 60 inch zero turn mower to mow just the front and not be able to tackle those backyards. So, you know, an interesting thing is, it might be a good idea to start with a 36 inch stand-on if you're dealing with gated backyard. There's nothing wrong with starting with a 32 or 36 inch stander, so you can do the backyard for sure, and of course the front. And then over time, once your business grows and matures, throw down for a larger zero turn or a stander, maybe a 52 or 60 for that front lawn. And then you can always use that mower that you started with for the back lawns. Now, I will say this, I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts about the evolution of your business, because to me that just makes sense. I know a lot of you guys I watch on Instagram are getting started more so now with smaller mowers, the 32s and 36s and 48s, and then upgrading to the bigger mower later. I personally feel like, just looking at the industry, it almost was backwards for about the last 10, 15 years, with the guys starting with big zero turn mowers, and then they had to turn down a bunch of gated backyard residential work, which, you know what? That adds up. That's kind of your bread and butter when you're just getting started. So a lot of guys would have to buy 21 inch push mowers or $3,000 commercial walk behind mowers, and both of them just eat into your profits and your time. So that's where my new philosophy of getting a 36 inch stander, whether it's a Wright, a Skag, a Ferris, whatever, pick your brand, I think that's a really good option nowadays. Now, as you guys can also imagine, let's go to the other end of the spectrum. If everything is fenced in or is all gated, well then yeah, you're probably gonna need a 32 inch or a 36 inch stander, and then maybe a 48 inch walk behind or a stander for the front. You may not ever have a zero turn in your fleet if you're dealing with more urban environments or a lot of gated backyard areas. Where I live, 20 minutes southeast of where I live, it's probably 80% gated backyards, and so you're going to need those smaller mowers. So when it comes to what's the best deck size, I'm almost going to qualify that question with, what do your clientele look like? I think a zero turn and 48s, 52s, and 60s are awesome. You guys see me run that. But I will say this, Part of my business model the last 3 years is I had of 100 customers, let's say 5 or 6 were residential gated backyard customers. And you know what? I let them all go. It was easier for me to let those customers go and get 6 or 7 new customers than it was to keep an $8,000 or $9,000 extra stand on or walk behind mower on the trailer, and I was only putting 3 or 4 hours a week of use on it. Now for me, that's what worked out for my business model. So everybody's different. You got to decide what works best for you. This is a frequently asked question I get a lot. What is the best deck size for your lawnmower? It just depends on your clientele type. If you're in that middle area, probably a 36-inch stander would be a really good start, and you can always add to your fleet with a bigger zero turn or a bigger stander. So hopefully that helps you guys out. If you're new, check out the rest of the frequently asked question playlist. I think you guys will really enjoy it.